EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us roughly midway between Boston and Providence. Everybody knows it as Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the New England Patriots.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
On to get us started now, the kicker Chris Boswell. And we are underway in Foxborough. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go, start. Hey, what's that? 5.
May going to throw right away. They'll find Henderson out of the backfield here. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A good start. One play, 10 yards.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, he just snuck out there and he just got a nice first down.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd and 6. On play action, May. He'll swing this out to Henderson. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Play action, May. Hunter Henry brings it in. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 20-yard line. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
First carry now for Ramondre Stevenson. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
What's that? Hey, what's that?
Now May on the sneak. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Patriots get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Take 30. Hey, take 26. Look again.
Now Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdes-Scantling. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's a run by Gainwell. He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 6. Now Rodgers. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he's got it inside the 10. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. And even 50 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
Here's Rodgers to throw. That's caught right side. It's Warren. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Jaylen Warren from 4 yards out. And the Steelers are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Boswell good with the extra point. And we are tied at 7. Well, we know he has decent hands out of the backfield. That's the first time, Charles, they've targeted him in the passing game, and it pays dividends.
And I love the design, too, because they kept him in the backfield, made the defense think run first before they swung him out of there. And you're right, with his hands, they might want to throw it to him just a little bit more.
The Patriots take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
New England with a 1st down as they begin the drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Again, it's Stevenson. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7.
Third and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down is May. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3-and-out.
So on 4th down, here's Bryce Baringer on to punt for the Patriots. Deep to return is Scotty Miller.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That's excellent.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5 on the 10. They should be ready to go.
In his own end zone, it's Rodgers. Short throw to Smith. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll make it 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Rodgers now to throw. This is Smith to the ground. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
19 yards. First down, Steelers.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He'll find Metcalf. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing is Rodgers. And this one is incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
And again, it's Rodgers. And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. K'Lavon Chaisson, a former first-rounder, in there to get the sack. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
On 4th down, Corliss Waitman on to punt. Back deep for New England is Marcus Jones. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Pats at the line ready to go. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just 1 snap of the football. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half.
Hey, come out with me. Hey, what's that?
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the 3rd quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee-wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
Pittsburgh.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 23 yards on the play.
Hey, 26.
It's a gain of 23 yards. And the Steelers first down.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile.
Number 50. Hey, you block over here. Jump out. Back one. Number 50. Jet 300. Jet 300.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's not locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
3-yard loss on the play. It's 4th down.
Hey, take 26. 26. Box it, box it, box it, box it. Slip it in.
Rodgers to throw for it on fourth. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Patriots take over, and they're going to have terrific field position. Off the play fake. Here's May. Now he'll take it. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Boy, that's tough, Charles. First play of the drive, you're hoping to stay ahead of schedule. You take that huge sack, and now you're facing 2nd and a mile.
And the entire time, you were probably thinking the same thing I was. Either get rid of the ball safely, of course, or go down. The yardage he gave up on that play, that's going to be tough for them to make up.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Facing some long odds here if they hope to convert, as they're well behind the original line of scrimmage.
Hey, what's that? Hey, come out with me. Hey, five.
From the shotgun, it's May. Quick completion to Henry.
Now he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. May looking to run. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down.
To the air, May.
And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Foxborough. 7-7 is our score. Pretty even matchup so far as we start quarter number 4. By the way, you'd be looking at about a 47-yarder from here as they come up on an important 3rd down.
They set up the screen for Henderson.
And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And his kick is indeed good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ball game, and it didn't come until the 4th quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
To throw is Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. The Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now it's Rodgers. Now wasted time going right back to DK Metcalf. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
Heady on that one, huh? Getting out of bounds before the 2-minute warning. They get an extra timeout, extra opportunity to move the ball downfield. Very smart football.
Jump out! Take 30! Hey, Mike!
Here's Rodgers. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Here we go, first and goal. Now runs straight ahead with Warren. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
I know a lot of people won't like the draw called in that situation, but every now and then that pops big. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
319!
A handoff for Warren. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
This crowd doing all they can. Here's third and goal.
158! Maximum! Inside!
Back to throw, Rodgers. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Here's a big one. It's fourth and goal.
319! 26! Hey, 88! Go to 50! Hey, you block over here. 319!
Now Rodgers, gotta have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the fourth down pass attempt, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one.
What's that? Eddie, what's that?
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them.
Well, this is one of those games where if you win it, it feels extra special, but to lose a
We're here at the confluence of the Ohio, the Allegheny, and the Monongahela Rivers, and welcome you to Acrisure Stadium on the North Shore of Pittsburgh, the home of the Steelers. Coming up, we've got a good one in store. It's the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Jason Sanders.
Mike Tirico and Greg Olsen with you. Jason Sanders has us ready for the start. Off we go from Pittsburgh. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10. Rodgers going to put it up to get started. He's going to air one out right away. And he will take this one in. 77 yards. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Chris Boswell on for the point after. He gets it to go, and the Steelers will take a 7-0 lead. Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to kick this one off. On the return, Malik Washington. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. They'll run him. This is Devon Achane. He's to midfield. Still going. And he is gone. 74 yards. Touchdown, Miami. Well, that's a way to start a drive. He takes it all the way to the house. I don't know what they were talking about on the last series, but they've come out on this series, Greg, with the right answer for the touchdown.
And, Mike, the reason a lot of teams start off drives with the run plays to allow themselves to operate ahead of the chains. Well, not this guy. He found the alley, he took it, and he's off to the races for 6.
After the touchdown, Myers is back to boot this one away. This one is going to sail through the end zone for a touchdown.
1st and 10. At their own 35-yard line.
From the 35, it's 1st and 10.
Easy. 319. Go to 50. Hey, 88. Hey, take 26.
In the shotgun, it's A-Rob. He's going to take a shot down the field. That one incomplete. The defender right there to make the fight. And it's 2nd down.
And that's exactly what every defense is trying to do in the passing game. They want to muddy up these windows, Mike, make every throw as contested as possible. No separation, contact right at the catch point, and does a great job forcing the incomplete pass.
26, back north. Gas 300.
2nd down, Rodgers. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. And he might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Inside.
From the gun, Rodgers. He's got the connection there to Valdez-Scantling. They get 18 on the pitch and catch. That's a Steeler 1st down.
The Steelers
These third down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on third down.
Hey, 88.
To the air once more, it's Rodgers. Metcalf left side, he's got it. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 8.
Look at the 8. Take 30.
Rodgers going up top again. That pass caught right side. Valdez-Scantling. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line.
That's good for us Steelers.
So they come to the line for first down and 10.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Go to 50. Jump out. Hey, 80.
Again, it's Rodgers. That one pinballs around, but it is incomplete.
Up until that incompletion, they've done a really nice job on this drive, Mike, picking up fresh sets of downs. And typically, throwing the ball on first down is a great way to do it. But now they find themselves in 2nd and 10. Do you keep it in the air and try to get the first down here? Or is the idea to just make third down manageable and take your chances picking up a key third down?
That's caught by Smith on the right side. We'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
3rd and short yardage. It's that one intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Burks. And he's going to give his guys a short field to work with and a chance to take the lead.
They'll take over first and 10.
I'm not going to sit here, Mike, and say there's ever a good time to throw a red zone interception. But in this case, it's the first half. You have the rest of the game to get yourself back down here in the red zone and make up for that miscue, because next time they get down here, they got to be a lot more careful when they decide to air it out.
On the handoff, this is H.M. He'll manage only a coach. Patrick Queen, the linebacker. They're on the tackle. From the 38 now, here's 2nd down and 7.
At the Steelers' 38-yard line.
Throwing from the gun is Ewers. That is intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. He gets free. And he is going to score. A pick 6 for the touchdown.
Well, he's going to have a lot better moments than this one, Mike. You just can't force that throw. Not at this level. It's going to cost you more times than not. This young rookie, hopefully this is one that he can learn from and not continue to repeat.
On for the extra point is Boswell. He's got it. And the Steelers will take a 14-6 lead.
14. Dolphins 6. Chris Boswell to kick off.
Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to kick this one off. Washington now to return it. Oh, he's got room past the 30. And he'll be out of bounds on the return. And the drive will begin there.
At their own 45-yard line.
It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. On the ground to start the drive, it's Achane. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4.
A gain of 5.
Just shy of midfield. Here's 2nd down.
Their 49-yard line.
Play action now. Ewers. And he is going to go down. They sack him to end the 1st quarter. So they'll talk over what to do on this third down play as we have hit the end of the first quarter. 14-6 is our score. And we're back to the Steel City after this. Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Ewers. The pressure gets there again, and again he goes down.
When you can win so fast as an edge rusher, you put so much pressure on the quarterback to speed everything up. He can sense that pressure coming either from his front or back side. It either speeds up and leads to an errant throw, or in this case, it leads to a sack.
No movement from the punt team. They'll line up to go for it on 4th down. The Steelers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll discuss what's to come as 4th down is looming. They're indeed going. It's Ewers. He's going to let this go. Downfield for Waller. That's going to be incomplete. They felt compelled to go for it on 4th and long. That was a big ask, and the defense turns them away.
You know, Mike, you could almost just look down in the huddle, and the players are looking at the sideline like, Coach, isn't the punt team going to come out? And the coach was having none of it. He says, no, you're staying on the field. We're being aggressive all day long, and we're going to go pick up this 1st down.
Screen 18! Screen 18!
They'll run. This is Jalen Warren. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
15 yards.
They get 15 on that game. Good for a Steeler 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard
And these are the
line.
explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense.
And the Steelers are going to have 1st and goal, trying to finish off this drive with a touchdown. Back-to-back, some nice runs. This one good for 11 and another 1st down. From the 4-yard line, trying to punch it in. 1st down and goal.
258! Screen 18!
One. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Greg, they take advantage of the good field position and move it downfield for the score.
When you take the field as an offense, there's a little added confidence boost, Mike, when you see yourself this close to the end zone. You get into the huddle, you're anxious to see what the next couple plays are. You're able to take advantage and end up punching it in.
Dolphins 6. Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to kick this one off. Washington now to return it. Oh! He'll come across the 20 and taken down at the 21-yard line.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
On play action, here's Ewers. Oh, he's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him.
5 yards.
T.J. Watt in there to drop him. Loss of 5 to start the drive. 2 minutes to go here till halftime. We'll come back to the Steel City after this. Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Out of the gun, here's Ewers. Hit as as he throws, and it is incomplete. Just couldn't deliver that one the way he wanted to. Not really sure if there was much there anyways. We do know it'll be third down. Now Pittsburgh will bang a timeout here. That's their second. Talk things over before third down. To throw is Ewers. Now a screen set up for H.S. And he's going to be out of bounds. Well short of what he needed. And the punt team will come on for fourth down.
I think this is one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the first down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks. And now they got a fourth down decision to make.
Incomplete. Oh, they elected to throw on fourth and short. It does not work out. They turn it over on down.
You know, Mike, there's a lot of coaches out there who believe that an aggressive style of offense is your best chance of winning. Now, this takes it a little bit to the extreme, but I think this is something that we're going to continue to see as this game unfolds.
Just trying to avoid the rush there. He's hit as he threw, and the pass is incomplete.
Let's give credit to that pass rush for making their presence felt, and although it didn't result in a sack, it's the disruption of the timing that's just enough to force that incompletion.
319! Hey, take 26! Jump out!
Now a second down throw from Rodgers. He's got a man. It's Metcalf. He is out of bounds. They have worked it inside the 15. That's his third catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
First and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Back north, 258.
Working out of the gun, it's Rodgers. He'll get that one to Valdez-Scantling.
Rodgers pass. Complete to Marquez Valdez-Scantling. It's a gain of 5. Brings up second.
They'll come up here on second down and 5.
7-yard line.
319. Hey, 88. 26. Slip it down.
They'll throw again. Here's Rodgers. Rolling right. And he'll just bite the bullet and throw this one away. That was a good idea. Didn't force anything there. But now it's going to bring up third down.
So anytime the quarterback leaves the pocket, immediately all the receivers, Mike, have to go scramble drill. Continue to work open, separate, give your quarterback somewhere to go with the ball, but give credit to the defense. They plaster on all the eligible receivers, and he has to just throw this one away.
Get 300. Get 300.
A-Rod out of the gun here on third down. That's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Tyrell Dodson. And the Dolphins are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Ewers now back near his goal line. He's going to look deep for Tyreek. And they are not going to catch up to him. He will score. 94 yards. Touchdown, Miami.
The Dolphins are lining up for
now Ewers. And he gets in. And now they're back within a score. The deficit is just 7. They didn't leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the first half. And the kickoff's coming their way. And that one is through the back of the end zone. It is a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
This. Zip! 258! Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. Split 50.
Rodgers on first down. A throw left side, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Jonnu Smith, the tight end. Man, he was looking for there. And it'll bring up second down.
It's pretty remarkable at this stage, Mike, that they're even winning this game. I mean, anytime a quarterback is completing less than 50% of his throws, you just don't see that very often, and it just seems like time and time again, this quarterback and his intended targets, they're just not on the same page.
Back north. Jump out.
Rodgers here on second down. The ball deflected at least a couple of times, but it'll fall to the ground. It's incomplete.
I'm not so sure he would have picked up the first down had they connected either way, but still, disappointing outcome to not at least get a handful of positive yards on that last one.
Well, can't afford another incompletion here. Quickly, it is 3rd and 10.
26. Hey, 88.
Rodgers. Mistake late in the half. It is intercepted. And the Dolphins will have great field position as they take over at their own 45.
Mike, there's usually such a comfort level when the guy playing quarterback behind center is a veteran. They've seen a lot of ball. You can trust them to make good decisions. And then every once in a while, one just gets away. And that's just simply a bad ball, a bad mistake. I mean, you're not going to get away with it at this level.
1st and 10 for Ewers. That'll be intercepted. And the Steelers are going to get the football here at their own 38-yard line.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. That's going to wind up incomplete. Not much time remaining. Time for one more snap here in this first half.
2nd down and 10.
I think that play probably results in a completion if that protection just holds up a little bit longer. It was that initial pressure in the face of the quarterback that forced him to get rid of that ball a little bit earlier than he wanted. Disrupts that timing, ruins the play.
Second down, Rodgers. That's complete to his running back, Kenneth Gainwell. And he's going to be out of bounds. 000 up there on the clock. We have reached the end of the first half. Both teams ready to get back at it as we get back underway here on EA Sports. Washington now to return it. And that's well done by the kicking team. He's only able to make it past the 15-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
They'll start on the ground. It's Achane. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the 18-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 9.
Let's go. Trap 60, trap 60. 60 by 6, 60 by 6, 60 by 6.
To throw, Ewers. Sending it deep for Waddle. That's going to be incomplete. Good work by the defender. Bodying his man up. Wouldn't allow the catch. It'll force 3rd down.
They nearly connected on the big play downfield, but he's not quite able to hold on to that ball through the contact. You can chalk that one up as a win defensively.
They need to get it to the 27. This is 3rd down. Here's Ewers. Looking underneath for Achane. It's a gain of 10 yards. 1st down. Miami.
Well, they finally are able to convert on a 3rd down. And, Mike, when you look back at a box score, some of the biggest indications of how well the game went, of course, you don't want to turn the ball over. How do you execute in the red zone? And then how are you on 3rd down? 3rd downs typically lead to long drives. Long drives tend to lead to points. It's not a real complicated formula. Stay on the field. The more snaps, the more plays, the better.
And a up and down, just shy of the 40. Back-to-back, gains of 10 yards. And back-to-back 1st downs. So, from the 39, they come up on 1st and 10. That is incomplete. No way to force the football in there. Good coverage. It'll bring up 2nd down.
All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it. But I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not able to secure the catch through contact.
Up the sideline, past midfield. Down the sideline to the 20. And he will score. Devon Achane. Touchdown, Miami. That is 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. Good-looking rushing touchdown there. Offensive line does its job. That back taking off to the end zone for the touchdown.
Mike, you're exactly right. He might get credit in the box score for that long rushing touchdown, but it was the big guys up front who were able to make that play possible.
And now, after the big play, got to cut that celebration short because they're going to stay out and go for 2. That's going to be caught. They're going to get the 2 points. They're going to take the lead here in the 3rd.
Mike, I think all of us can remember exactly where we were during a certain Super Bowl where throwing the ball this close to the goal line ended up being a disaster. But unlike that time, they ran this pass play to perfection, and the result, 2 points.
Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
After the touchdown, Myers is back to boot this one away. And we will not have a run back here. It's a touchback, and we'll come out to the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10.
We go to 50. Hey, you block. Take 30. Jump out. Get 300. Get 300. Yeah, live. Good side. Hey, 88.
From the gun, Rodgers. And he'll be taken down. They get him back at the 5-yard line.
A big loss on the play. Brings up second down.
Easy. Back north.
In the shotgun, it's A-Rod. That's out wide to Warren. That will make third down a little more manageable. Good yardage gained on that one.
A pickup of 13 on the play. It's third down. And
now Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
The offense just couldn't seem to get anything going that drive. They knew they had a long way to go, taking over possession that deep in their own territory. You want to pick up that first down and see if you can capitalize some momentum. Instead, the errant throw brings up fourth down, and they're going to have to punt it away.
They're indeed going. It's Rodgers. That is incomplete.